A lot of y'all be expecting prosperity and abundance, but you don't speak it into existence. Now, what do I mean by this? A lot of us have these sayings or quotes that we tell ourselves each and every single day that's actually blocking you from manifesting the life that you actually want. You have to understand that the words that you say carry a certain frequency and energy about it. You don't just talk and speak and your words just kind of dissipate into nothingness. No. Your words are so much more powerful than you think, and this is the reason why you're blocking your manifestations, and it's one of the reasons why your life never ends up getting better. I see this almost every day where people will say, oh, my luck is always bad, things never work out in my favor. Things are always, the universe is against me, the universe is never on my side. Why do you think that is? Take a moment and ask yourself, why do you think that is? I'll tell you why. The reason is because it starts with the types of things that you're telling yourself, right? How are you speaking about yourself? When you speak negatively about yourself each and every single day and you say things like, my luck is always bad, nothing ever works out for me. The universe listens to that and you're sending out an energetic frequency of negativity. And that's what's causing you a lot of bad luck in your life, and it's causing you to manifest a lot of negative situations for yourself. If you actually want to live a life full of prosperity and abundance each and every single day, you got to stop talking negatively about yourself. You got to stop talking negatively about your circumstances, right? If it's hard for you to initially say positive things about yourself, I understand, right? It feels weird, it feels uncomfortable. But this can start with you appreciating some of the things that you actually do have in your life and start saying, man, I'm grateful that I have a place to go home to. I'm grateful that I have food to eat each and every single day. I'm grateful that I have water to drink. I'm grateful that I'm not out here living on the streets, like a lot of people are. And so I'm making this video for you guys to be aware of some of the things that you're telling yourselves about some of the belief systems that you actually have about your life, right? All of us want a life that is full of prosperity and abundance, but we don't actually analyze and observe some of the things that we're saying about ourselves that is causing us to not live a life like that. Why not start saying the universe always works in my favor? Why not start saying that abundance comes easily and naturally for me? I experience abundance each and every single day. I'm grateful for all the abundance and prosperity that I have in my life right now. You see, this is the actual key in order to actually live a life full of prosperity and abundance, is saying positive things about your life and your situation, even if you don't perceive it to be necessarily great right now. By saying positive things about your life versus negative things about your life, it's going to change the trajectory of how you actually view and perceive your life that's going on. And I know that a lot of this seems like esoteric and it seems like very much like woo-woo, but it's simple laws of the universe. It's the law of energy. It's the law of frequency. When you study quantum physics, it talks about how everything is energy at its core. This universe is a lot more metaphysical than we actually think. We think that it's very, very physical, and it is. It's a physical universe, but it's also metaphysical at the same time. And so we have to start understanding that the words that we say carry a certain frequency, and it's probably the reason why you're not living a life that you actually want to. And so instead of complaining about your life, start saying, maybe the universe is always working in my favor. I do live a life full of prosperity and abundance each and every single day, even if it doesn't seem like that right now. This is actually what's going to keep you on the right track, and it's going to put you on a path towards abundance, success, prosperity, because even though, everybody could be working the same job, right? You could have 5 to 10 people in a workspace. Even though everybody works at the same place, each and every single person has their own individual experience. And you can make that experience positive solely based off of how you view your life. The types of things that you're saying about yourself. These are big things and big key factors when it comes to manifesting the life that we actually want to live, and a life full of prosperity, abundance, peace and joy and happiness. If you want a more in-depth video on how you can manifest abundance, prosperity into your life, I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm not going to give you anything for money, but I will recommend to check out my YouTube channel. I post over 1,000 videos where you can gain the wisdom and the experience to where you can actually live a life that is fulfilling, prosperous, abundant. It's been happening for me for the past 5 years. Now, does that mean I'm a millionaire? No. But what it does mean is that I perceive life in a way that's always positive. And so my life is naturally very fun. I don't have to feel like I'm stressing out over my life. My life is very prosperous and it's very abundant in my own right. And so if you want videos like that, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel or just scroll down on my TikTok, because I do post videos on here as well with those same topics that can actually help you live the life that you want to. And so with all that being said, my friends, thank you for making it this far if you have, and have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night wherever you're at. Peace, love, and happiness. Mwah.